The real drama this week concerned the fate of the Build Back Better Act, a key part of Biden's agenda projected to cost around $3.5 trillion over 10 years, with Democrats intending to pay for it through increased taxes on the wealthy. It contains a lot, among other things, funding for at-home care, universal pre-K, free community college, steps to address climate change, expanded Medicare, and an extension of the child tax credit, which alone is estimated to mean 4.3 million fewer children in poverty. It is a big deal and would make this country a better place. But there is a problem here, because to pass the bill, Democrats are using something called reconciliation to evade a filibuster, which requires the support of every single Democratic senator. And unfortunately, moderates like Sinema and Joe Manchin argue it costs too much. Now, to counter that, progressives have said that they will oppose the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which both Manchin and Sinema want, unless the larger bill is guaranteed to pass alongside it. And if all of this seems a little chaotic, Jen Psaki attempted to reassure reporters earlier in the week that it was all part of the process.
This is why we all came to Washington. It's like an episode of a TV show. I'm not in a position to look in a crystal ball here.
Which TV show?
Maybe The West Wing. If something good happens, maybe Veep. If not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, of course you want to be the West Wing. Every administration wants to be the West Wing, and why wouldn't they? It's American fan fiction written by a man drunk on liberal righteousness and weapons-grade cocaine. Unfortunately, though, this White House might be more of a Mr. Robot, in that I'm not sure even the people involved know exactly what's going on. Unless they're very careful, it might stop after 4 years. Although, I will say this. To Biden's credit, he seems so far to be siding with the progressives, or at the very least, not selling them out, which does make sense. This bill contains policies that he ran on, and its contents are broadly popular. But Sinema and Manchin seem unmoved by that. In Manchin's case, he wasn't even moved when some West Virginians even tried to make their case to him in person this week, paddling out to his boat in kayaks to hear him explain why he's holding things up.
We want to get a good bill that's a balanced bill, that's well done. And I know it won't be enough for some, and it'll be too much for others. In West Virginia, West Virginia's a little bit different than it used to be.
There's a lot of poverty. What are you going to do for the poor in West Virginia?
We're going to be working everything we can to create good opportunities.
Wow. I am not sure which stage of capitalism we've reached if we're now kayaking out to a politician's yacht to beg him to help the poor, but it's got to be one of the last ones. I'm pretty sure it goes ocean on fire, bookstore billionaire leaves the planet, then boat bitch says no, and then it is basically all over at that point. But I will say, at least Manchin's actually engaging with people. Sinema has been much more evasive. She's made a name for herself as trying hard to be the fun one in the Senate, dressing here like a Powerpuff Girl in witness protection. But it's been a lot less fun this week watching her turn basic questions about her bargaining position into a shitty game.
What do you say that progressives that are frustrated that they don't know where you are?
Oh, fuck right off. And it gets worse. When that reporter asked her a second time, she said, "I'm clearly right in front of the elevator," which is about as maddening as when you tell your dad, "I'm hungry," and he says, "Nice to meet you, hungry, I'm dad." I mean, yeah, you technically got me there, and you certainly have a playful way with words, but I've got a fucking problem that you are supposed to solve. And that evasiveness may have reached its peak when she took off in the middle of negotiations for Arizona, where she attended a fundraiser at a high-end resort and spa in Phoenix last night. And amid all of the frustrations with Sinema, her supporters have tried to cast her eccentricities as an asset, with one saying she doesn't think in a linear process like, OK, will this impact my re-election? She just beats her own drum. When she leaves in the middle of something and says, "I got stuff to do," it's because she has plans. Sometimes she's just more interested in training for an Ironman. More power to her, man. Except here's the thing, no. Not more power to her, man, because that is one of her own supporters basically telling you she's impossible to understand, doesn't think in a linear process, and wanders off in the middle of a conversation. And it's not great when a senator's strengths are how I would describe any cat. Those qualities in a civilian might make you a fun eccentric, but when you're a senator, it just makes you bad at your fucking job. Look, this bill could materially benefit people's lives, and if you are blocking it, you owe people more than vague platitudes shouted from the back of a boat and a cutesy "I'm in the Senate" comment. Because if these two keep this shit up, their window for saying "I'm in the Senate" may rapidly be closing.